Chuck Palahniuk, in his book Fight Club, wrote this: "The things you own end up owning you." It's a phrase I hear often repeated, especially in minimalist circles. But have you ever sat with the truth behind it or weighed the implications of this thought in your life? Because it's true. The stuff we own owns us. Now, we probably nod our head to the whole idea, but then for some reason, we just keep on owning more and more and more stuff, almost as if the truth holds no real meaning whatsoever. So maybe it would be wise for all of us to give it a little more consideration. Because the reality is, we don't own our stuff, we purchase its maintenance. Our possessions always require something from us: money, time, energy, attention. And the more stuff we own, the more of our life is required to care for it. We tend to think of ownership as a finished transaction. We buy the thing we want, now we own it, it's ours, end of story. But ownership is never the end of the story. It's simply the beginning of a relationship. And we now hold the responsibility to care for whatever we own. We, of course, understand this instinctively with big things. Cars need oil changes, new tires, and repairs. Houses require cleaning, fixes, and upgrades. Furnaces and air conditioners and pianos need to be serviced and maintained and tuned. But what we often overlook is that even the smallest things in our life require maintenance. Clothes need to be washed, folded, sorted, and put away. Carpets need to get vacuumed. Technology needs updates and charging. Kitchen gadgets get cleaned and reorganized and shuffled about. Tupperware lids need to be matched. Photos need to be sorted. Light bulbs need changing. Decorations get unpacked, displayed, and repacked again. We have to squeeze past the boxes in our garage every time we park in it. Even the smallest items in our home ask something of us. Now, this wouldn't be a problem if we owned just a few extra items. One single item doesn't require all that much maintenance. But we don't own just one extra item in our homes. We own hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, or by some estimates, hundreds of thousands of things. And the more we own, the more is required from us. But what makes this even worse is that the trade-off isn't paying off. If all this maintenance resulted in increased joy, satisfaction, peace, meaning, or contentment, maybe it would be worth the effort. But that's not what most of us experience. In fact, we experience just the opposite. Despite everything we own, we still find ourselves wanting more. Even while struggling to care for what we already own, we spend energy thinking about what else we want to buy. Possessions can never fully satisfy. Minimalism changed my life in two significant ways. Number one, it helped me declutter my home and gain back time and energy and money. But additionally, number two, minimalism changed how I viewed possessions entirely and changed my life by allowing me to direct my passion towards more important pursuits. I began to realize that everything I owned wasn't a static transaction. Every item I owned and pursued required additional maintenance from me. And quite frankly, there are better things available to me in this life than accumulating more stuff. We rarely think about maintenance when we acquire something new. We think about how it looks, how it feels, how everyone else is buying it, or how it might improve our lives. But every purchase we make is an additional responsibility on our lives. And the truth is, we're already maintaining more than we should be. And once we see that, we can begin to take back our lives. And I'm excited to announce that my new book, Uncluttered Faith, is now available. When I discovered minimalism 15 years ago, I had no idea how much the lifestyle would impact my relationship with Jesus. But as I began living out what Jesus taught us concerning money and possessions, I began to recognize and experience so many of God's blessings in my life, the spiritual blessings that He wants to give all of us. This is my book where I outline 12 of them. If you're passionate about Jesus or interested in spiritual things at all, I encourage you to get it and read it and have your life changed.